So, Senator Kennedy had a fiery moment during the confirmation hearing of Judge Melissa R. DuBose. Picture this. Senate Republicans led by Kennedy are diving deep into DuBose's past, questioning a decades-old article that hinted at a Marxist phase. But hold on, DuBose stood her ground. She clarified that she never identified as a Marxist, even though she studied various political theories in college. The tension in the room was palpable.
Congratulations, Stalin. Judge DuBose, am I saying your name right?
That's correct, Senator.
Okay. We don't have a lot of time, so I'm going to be direct. I think most of my questions are designed to be yes or no. Are you still a Marxist?
Thank you for the question, Senator.
You don't have to thank me. We'll say you are welcome.
I am not, nor have ever been a Marxist.
Well, you gave an interview in 2000 to the Feminist Press. In fact, you didn't turn it over to us. We had to ask for it. We found it on our own. And you did then turn it over to us. And this is what you were describing your time working in a coffee shop. You said, quote, the kids would come into the cafe all the time. We'd talk about what they're doing. We'd talk about their classes. And I was in my Marxist phase. So you used to be a Marxist, but you're not now?
No, Senator, if I may, the context of the first of that interview, I had no idea that interview was something that was going to be published. I did an interview with it
under... Did you mean what you said, whether it was published or not, or whether we'd find it? Trying to understand what you believe. You said I was in my Marxist phase.
Thank you, Senator.
Still in your Marxist phase, or was that in the past?
No, Senator, if I may explain.
Sure.
I was a political science major. When I graduated from college, I immersed myself in a ton of political theory. I read Hobbes, I read Locke, I read Rousseau, I read Marx. I went through a phase where I was into Eastern religion, where I read the Tao Te Ching, the Analects of Confucius. So I suspect, and I don't know that quote with the article, I don't know if she was referring to what I was studying at the time, but as a political science major and as a theorist and someone who was considering teaching a course in political theory, I immersed myself in those things.
But she didn't refer to anything. She meaning, I assume you're referring to the reporter who interviewed. These are your words, and you didn't say I'm in my Hobbes phase. You didn't say I'm in my Locke phase. You didn't say I'm in my Rousseau phase. You said I was in my Marxist phase. And my question is real simple. Are you still a Marxist?
Senator, I've never been a Marxist, and I'm not a Marxist today.
Okay.
Kennedy seemed determined to link DuBose with Marxism, reminiscent of the McCarthy-era tactics that sent chills down many spines. But DuBose, a Providence native with a rich history in law and education, defended her impartiality and integrity with poise. Endorsed by Rhode Island Senators Sheldon Whitehouse and Jack Reed, DuBose's professional background is as extensive as it is impressive. She's been a teacher, a special assistant attorney general, and even senior legal counsel in the private sector. Her nomination has garnered rare support from sitting federal judges, and if confirmed, she'd make history as the first person of color and the first openly LGBTQ judge to serve on Rhode Island's U.S. District Court.
All right. Have you ever served as lead counsel in a federal bench trial?
No, Senator. With my experience as both a state prosecutor, as an in-house counsel at Schneider Electric, doing very complex compliance and regulatory work, and my work as a district court sitting judge, handling general jurisdiction.
Yes, I've read your resume. I just want to get through these questions. Have you ever served as lead counsel in a federal jury trial?
No, Senator, I have not.
Okay. Have you ever attended a federal jury trial?
No, Senator. No, Senator.
Have you ever watched a federal jury trial on TV?
I don't believe that federal trials are televised, so no, I have not, Senator.
Have you ever watched any trial on television?
Senator, I handle and preside over trials every single day as a state district court judge. We follow the rules of evidence, criminal procedure, civil procedure. So I feel that with my experience that I am well suited and capable to make the transition from our state district court to our U.S. district court.
Okay. When you were practicing law, did you ever draft a motion or a brief applying the federal rules of evidence?
No, Senator. As a state prosecutor...
I'm sorry, you said what?
I said no, Senator.
No, okay. When you were practicing law, did you ever draft a motion or a brief applying the federal rules of civil procedure?
Well, I believe that there were times at Schneider Electric giving advice to business units regarding the federal acquisition regulations, that I would draft briefs to give them counsel as to how to be compliant with the federal rules. So in that respect, the answer would be yes.
Okay. What's an interpleader action?
Interpleader action is a third party who's going to intervene in a civil suit. They're not a primary party.
Okay. What's voir dire?
Voir dire is the process with which jurors are questioned by the state and by defense and prosecutors to serve on a panel.
Have you ever conducted a voir dire in federal court?
Not in federal court.
Okay. I'm going to yield back 6 seconds, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Now, the broader political backdrop adds layers to this drama. With Republican frustrations brewing over legislative failures and ongoing controversies, Kennedy's aggressive approach seemed designed to stir the political pot even further. But will it impact DuBose's chances? As the hearing unfolds, court watchers and law professors remain optimistic. DuBose's diverse background is seen as a substantial asset for the judiciary. Yet the looming question remains, will political theatrics overshadow her qualifications? Stay tuned as this high-stakes political saga continues to unravel. Keep your eyes peeled for the next chapter in this dramatic confirmation journey. Until next time, stay informed.